Hello, it's James here, just taking a break from doing gardening after we've had some very welcome rain last night. So I thought I'd do something slightly different, more sort of topical of things that are happening today. So, go to the front door this morning, there's the newspaper that my mother has, the newspaper, and what a headline. Future King misled by paedophile bishop. Let's just have a think about this, shall we? The only misleading that's going on here is the newspapers telling you a pack of lies. Charlie boy is squirming and trying to save his own neck. I mean, these royal family are just typical of the evil that is going on in this world. Treat everything like a crime scene. Always ask yourself the motive. Who has got something to gain and who has got something to lose? And let's face it, who in this country has got more property, owns more land? I mean, Buckingham Palace alone, I believe it has something like 225 bedrooms, and yet there's homeless people. If you join the armed forces, you pledge allegiance to Queen and country. Not to the people of this country, but to this wretched Queen, this parasite. And that's all they are, basically. They are parasites. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. If they try and silence me, you'll know that I'm telling the truth. Now, some of you might be in disbelief over this, but just do a Google search or look on YouTube and put in genocide in Canada. Look at the royal visit to Canada in 1964. Ask yourself why those children that went on a picnic were never seen again. Why the other children from the home have never been seen and not been able to give testimony to what they saw. Just think about that. So, sorry Charlie boy, but you're not getting out of this one. You might have been involved in the murder of your wife Diana, she was just there purely to give birth to the next demon, who was artificially induced to come out on the summer solstice, because I know these royals love their ritual and ceremony. But I see through all that. I know exactly what you are. And you know the tragic thing about this for humanity? We're actually all related to these demons, but the only difference is it's nothing to do with blood, with being O negative type or anything like that. It's the fact that they have chosen to be self-serving and absolutely greedy. This is why the Queen is sitting on an absolute fortune and does nothing, absolutely nothing, to relieve the suffering of people who are going to food banks, who have been served in the armed forces, who have got through the horrors of wars and things that they, amongst the royal families and these banking elites orchestrate, because wars make money and keep them in the luxury, while the rest of us are supporting this system. Well, not me, because I don't give a damn penny to it. I get no income. I have no income. I mean, my employer is Mother Earth. I'm quite happy with that. What do I earn? Well, I can't quantify it in money because money doesn't even come into it. But I work 7 days a week at it, and I'm quite happy to do it because I want to do it. And I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to put something back to earth, because these lot of parasites have been squandering everything, taking away monatomic gold. And that's another thing you want to look into, monatomic gold. Just have a look exactly what that is and what it's used for. This is not a new problem. This has been going on for centuries, for millennia. And their time is up and they know it. And they're just squirming now. I'm hoping there's going to come a day where I can just shake hands with these people and turn them to dust. Well, if I don't do it, somebody else will. But I'm going to enjoy it. Because, yeah, I share the same blood as you. The only difference is I've chose to be benevolent and kind. I mean, I don't want your wealth. Buckingham Palace, I think, is a hideous building. I'd open it up and say to the homeless people, there you go, now you've got a roof over your heads. Help yourself to the food. I mean, it's what they've taken from the rest of us anyway. I mean, why does the Queen need a pay rise from 75 million to 84 million pounds a year when there are people out there who are struggling with young families? And what about all the people who've served in the armed forces who've seen some horrors, who are mentally broken, who can't function anymore in society? Where's the help for them? Why do they never reach in their pockets and actually help anybody? They're quite happy to see these survivors of the First and Second World War parading up and down on for these memorials, and they're just laughing at all of us. And that Prince Harry, he's not even Prince Harry, he's a substitute. The real Prince Harry was murdered in Ireland because he would have given the game away, probably. So they brought in a substitute. Yeah, I am going to say this because it does need saying. Everybody needs to know what we're really up against. They're related to these Rothschilds and these Rockefellers and Bushes and Clintons. They're all bloody demons, the whole lot of them. The truth of it is they drink children's blood. Yeah, I know that sounds difficult to believe, but they might look human, but they are not human. David Icke was right. They might not be shape-shifting reptilians, but the nature of the beast does not change. They might be in a human form, but the nature of them is not very nice. I can see it in their eyes. I can feel the energy from them, and trust me, it's not pleasant. And I'm not afraid to say it. See, I get nothing. It's funny, when you fill in these government forms, you are told to answer all questions honestly or face a fine. But when you ask Department of Work and Pensions and you explain the situation, it's funny how they can't be honest with me and tell me the truth. So I ain't really got anything to lose. So I'm prepared to be outspoken. I'll put my neck on the block. And it's a saying that a leopard will not change its spots. Well, you think back centuries to what's happened with this term at His or Her Majesty's pleasure. Well, trust me, it still goes on to this very day. The only thing is, they know it's not publicly acceptable, so it's all done behind closed doors and in secret. But they don't want you to know that. They want to look like this loving family, which they are not, clearly. Otherwise, Diana would still be alive today. She was sacrificed. I don't know how many of you know this, but that car hit the 13th pillar in the tunnel under Paris. And lo and behold, the land that is above it is dedicated to the goddess Diana. Work that one out. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, just a very short video, and I will be making more on this and other subjects. We might even look at the Rothschilds next, or the Rockefellers. I mean, they've all got dubious passes, or the Clintons and their trail of murder wherever they go, and the Bushes. It's funny how there's this Osama bin Laden who's getting the blame for this alleged terror attack on 9/11, but it's also well known that the Bushes traded with the bin Laden family. Work that one out. Their time is running out. The net is closing in. You might try and, Charlie boy, you might try and say you're being misled by a paedophile bishop, but you are quite happy to go along with it. Same as your brother Andrew, hanging around with a millionaire convicted paedophile. And what's happened to Sarah Ferguson? She went very quiet. Probably living in the States somewhere, paid off to keep quiet. But I bet she saw some things as well. So there's a few things to think about. But yeah, just do a Google search. Put in genocide in Canada. There's 2 warrants out for the arrest of this wretched Queen Elizabeth. But of course, being head of state, she's hardly going to prosecute herself, and it's all quietly discarded under the target. And while we're at it, the I newspaper. Russian-born British millionaire. Now it's funny. Russia, not that long ago, was behind an iron curtain. People didn't have monies. Where did all these millionaires from the Eastern Bloc spring up from? Demons, a whole bloody lot of them. They're all in cahoots, and they're all keeping the rest of us down. Well, I'm speaking out. So, like I said before, do your own research. If I'm dead tomorrow, you know I'm validated. If I'm not, I'm just going to keep saying this. It's a win-win situation, whichever. and they know it. Thank you.